I confirm that this morning Victoria Police, as the result of an operation in the northeast of Victoria, fatally shot a man as a result of the operation into the shooting of 2 police officers. Whilst it's being reported that person is Dezi Freeman, we have to run through a very formal identification process, so Victoria Police at this stage will not confirm the identity of that person until that process has been undertaken. The operation concluded this morning following an operation that has been ongoing since the 26th of August last year. The operation was conducted by our professionals, members of our Special Operations Group, and Task Force Summit investigators. Whilst there will be a Professional Standards Command and a coroner's hearing into this matter, everything I know at this point tells me that this shooting was justified. As I said, the operation was conducted by professionals from Victoria Police. The very first people to be made aware of the outcome of this operation were the families of the officers tragically killed on the 26th of August, and all of the members that were involved on that day. What I can say, should it be confirmed that the deceased is Freeman, this brings closure to what was a tragic and terrible event. I would also like to acknowledge at this point the investigation team for their absolute professionalism, perseverance, persistence and diligence in bringing this to a conclusion. We are privileged to have these investigators as part of Victoria Police, and they were ably assisted by the entire organisation. I would also like to acknowledge our partners. Every jurisdiction across Australia and New Zealand assisted in this operation. And as I stand here, I have the lead investigators for this matter, and I would just like to acknowledge and thank them for their leadership, again, in bringing this to a conclusion. I would also like to acknowledge the community of Port Punkah and the surrounding area for their patience and their perseverance also. This has had impact right across that part of Victoria. People have felt unsafe. We've done everything we can to assure them. But for them, this should bring this to a conclusion. Just in closing, I would like to say it's early days in terms of this phase of the investigation. There's lots to be done. We will keep the public via the media updated about how this matter unfolds and is concluded. And I want to thank you for your support and attention during this tough time, this over 6 months. And again, acknowledge the investigation team for their persistence and perseverance. Thank you. I'll open up for questions.
Commissioner, can I ask, the most recent update from police was that the strong belief was that Dezi Freeman was dead. Can I respectfully ask, was that a genuine belief, or were there tactics involved there? Can you explain that?
Absolutely. That's a very good question, because we have to follow every avenue of inquiry, and there was a lot to suggest that Freeman had taken his own life. But I can tell you, standing here, that our investigators That's why they're professionals. Keep their mind open to every possible outcome and follow every possible lead.
What was the lead? Well, can you give us an idea of what's led to this morning?
The perseverance and the persistence of this investigation team exploring every other avenue that was open to them is what's led to this. In terms of anything else, I'm not at liberty to share any confidential information.
Was there a conversation with him? Was anything said? Was there a shootout?
What I can say is that there was an appeal to encourage the person to come out. We're examining the sequence of events and we'll be able to report on that, but it did result from a standoff, the deployment of tactics. He then exited the building. There was an opportunity for him to surrender peacefully, which he did not.
Did he fire a weapon?
We're working through the sequence of that. We strongly believe, yet to be confirmed as well, that he was armed.
How long did you know he was at that location and how quickly did you turn around that operation?
I won't go into the specifics of that, only to say that it's part of that ongoing investigation by a very large and committed team of investigators.
The team on site, how many were involved in that operation this morning? Was it one team or was it just?
It was a very large team, a very wide team, as I said, led by our Special Operations Group with the support of many others and obviously the investigators from Task Force Summit.
You mentioned a building. We have reason to believe it was actually a container. Can you give any further information about that?
It's a very similar construction to a container, but it wasn't a container. I would describe it as a cross between a container and a very long caravan.
There was also suggestions that he came out wrapped in a blanket and armed with a weapon. Can you confirm that?
That's quite possible. That will form part of the investigation. A lot of the information we have is yet to be confirmed, but that is my understanding at this stage.
Exactly what location was he found in, and do you know how long he'd actually been in that spot for?
That will also form part of our ongoing investigation.
Was it in Walwa?
Pardon?
Was it in Walwa?
I'm not going to confirm that at this stage, but we will share those details. We have a crime scene. Many investigators, including the coroner, are heading there to conduct the ongoing investigation that results from this.
Has
We've
anyone
got
made a
reason to
claim
believe
the
this
moon?
was at least around 100 kilometres away from this original shooting at Pulpunka. Do we have any information as to what his movements might have been to get that far and to then hole himself up in this particular building?
That too will form part of the investigation. We're very keen to learn who, if any, but I'm sure some, actually assisted him in getting away from Pulpunka to where he was located. But that's a very important part of what comes next to determine that. And if anyone was complicit, they will be held to account.
Has anyone made a claim to that $1 million, Commissioner?
Anything in relation to any rewards or anything else about the investigation will be kept confidential.
Are police expecting other people to be charged?
As I just mentioned, we will conduct an investigation to see if others have been complicit and aiding him not just in getting out of the area, but supporting him whilst he's been on the run.
You mentioned that you spoke to the first people to know were Vadim and Neil's families. What do their families have to say? How are they feeling?
So that's such an important focus for us. I mentioned at the outset that I believe this has brought closure to them. Had the other outcome been suspected where he may have taken his own life, that would have been difficult to bring closure. So this has brought closure. I'm speaking with some of those straight after this.
We understand that Vadim's family might be in Australia. Is that the case?
Yes, you would have seen them last week at the commemoration for the passing of Angela Rose Taylor. They're still here and I'll be meeting them shortly.
Is anyone else in custody, Commissioner?
Not at this point.
We're hearing negotiations span several days. How long head office has been there trying to negotiate with the man?
That's part of the investigation I won't go into at the moment. Only to say it's been ongoing by this team since the 26th of August. It's been relentless.
Have police changed their approach to dealing with sovereign citizens since August last year? And if so, can you provide details?
So we liaise with anyone that we believe will be able to help us in this investigation.
Have you
And
spoken to
generally
his family
speaking-
today? Have you spoken to Dezi Freeman's wife or any other family members today?
Our members have, yes.
And what was the reception to this news?
That's for them to talk about.
I mean, generally speaking, have you changed the way in general Victoria Police deal with sovereign citizen cases?
I'm not sure about the point of your question. We deal with the community the same as we do. We apply a very general approach to how we police the community.
You said that you had reason to believe that there were others that have obviously assisted him to move that far, and charges were just recently dropped against a 56-year-old man, a 42-year-old woman and another person. Would any of those charges be relayed, or any further information in relation to those people that you had previously charged?
Well, that investigation's ongoing. We're very open to whatever may have occurred, but this fine team of investigators will explore who and how he was aided to be where he was located.